Spiritual Psychic Cynthia Killian here, also known as Psychic Cynthia, and welcome. Welcome to today's video, which is dealing with stuff, as in physical stuff, and more specifically, a situation that you might find yourself in sometimes where you have too much stuff. And, this video was inspired by a friend and a client of mine in a conversation we had the other day, where she shared with me that she had recently gone through yet again to clean out her extra stuff, quote unquote, and I don't know what all was involved, maybe clothing and, knickknacks, different household items. And anyway, she took another big load to the Goodwill, and, her situation is one that I think many of us face sometimes, is that, she said to me, I am taking this load again to the Goodwill, but I just did it not that long ago. And she said, it's as if I get rid of all this stuff, but more stuff comes right back in. Have you ever felt like that? Have you ever felt it like you go through and you clean out your house and you get organized, or you clean out your desk, or the garage or the basement, and you get it so nice and neat looking, and then more stuff comes back in. And if that's the case, the first thing I would say to you is congratulations. That means that you are a powerful and successful manifester. If you get rid of stuff and you just let it go and you clean it all out, and then you find that more stuff comes back in, and that this is a cycle that you repeat over and over again, that actually shows that you have powerful manifestation abilities. So think about that for a minute, because what's happening is you're taking the stuff that you have already manifested, and you're deciding that you don't need it anymore, you don't want it anymore, and so you're getting rid of it and releasing it, and then you're such a powerful manifester that after you get rid of this stuff, more comes in. So that's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, I want all of us who have this issue to appreciate that there is a thread of this that shows your power and how powerful you are as a manifester on the earth plane. And that doesn't mean you're a perfect manifester. Maybe you're thinking, well, yeah, I'm great at manifesting clothing and knickknacks, but I haven't manifested this other thing. Well, you just haven't learned how to apply your manifestation in that other direction yet. Nonetheless, if you have this experience where you go through the cycle of cleaning out stuff and organizing and getting rid of it, and then it's just a few months later that more comes back in, that definitely shows that you have strong manifestation ability. So that's just something to appreciate in yourself. But going deeper with this, in the discussion I was having with my friend and my client, one thing I discussed is the idea that the universe abhors a vacuum. You've probably heard that, right? Like in your high school science class. So if you take energy out, you take the substance of this stuff that you have, that leaves a space. And that also is a large part of why more stuff comes back in. So I think part of the trick is to get comfortable with the space, to get comfortable with the emptiness. And her and I didn't actually talk about this part. But there's an emotional component to this. I have clutter, I think a little bit like everybody else, but I'm also very good at leaving space in my house. I like to do that. And in fact, when you walk into my home, one of the things that you will notice is that, you can just walk in. There's a lot of open space immediately upon walking in. There's much space left open. And I'm comfortable with that. And many people will comment on that. They'll say, wow, this is very open. And I can tell that puts them at ease. There's a certain kind of zenness. And part of why I can do that is because I meditate and I do my spiritual work, and I'm wired in such a way that I can be more comfortable with being in the space, the empty space, the space between happenings. So I think that part of this is that as you meditate and you go especially into a spirit of trust, trusting in the universe and feeling more at ease in your own skin, then you'll also feel more at ease with space in your life. Whether that is space in your physical environment, open space, I'm saying. So space in your physical environment, or even space in between jobs, or space in between activities. So there's a trust element with this, being comfortable and at ease in your own skin. And how does this relate to our stuff? Well, if you're not comfortable and at ease in your own skin, if you're not feeling at ease with yourself or your life at the present moment, if you're just not comfortable with space, what will happen is when you get rid of the stuff, so after you're done organizing and cleaning and your place looks great, but you won't be at ease on a deep level with that. You'll feel that you need to fill the space, because it's really a spiritual space you're trying to feel, a hunger. So that's a tip right there. I mean, after you're done organizing, cleaning, if you've worked so hard to do that, when you feel the need to go out and shop more, again, for example, which there's nothing wrong with that, okay? There's nothing wrong with having your stuff that you use. Hopefully you will always have all the tools and stuff that you need to live your purpose and your passion and be comfortable and at ease. That's not what this is about. This isn't about trying to live a Spartan life or a life of poverty. And I don't feel that Spirit wants that for us. It's certainly not demanded of us. You can demand it of yourself if you want, but there can be a balance point between living that Spartan life where you don't have many things at all, and living a life where it's just full of clutter and you have too many things and you're burdened by them. And that's what my client and my friend is trying to find, I believe. That's why she works so hard on this, and she really does a good job, actually. I think she's one of the people that really does one of the best jobs I know of staying organized and keeping her space clear and clean. But it is an ongoing struggle for her, to date, at least. So if that's a struggle for you, think about what I've said here and about becoming more at ease with space, with emptiness, becoming more trusting, and knowing that you don't have to fill in all the empty spaces. It's okay to leave some empty spaces, at least for a little while. And so if you feel that urge to go out shopping and start to fill the spaces again, why don't you take a moment, take a beat, okay? And maybe do a little meditation before you do that. Take a few breaths, tune into your inner heart. Ask yourself, do you really want to go out and shopping? Do you really want to get those things? Or are you just trying to fill some space that you feel inside? Because it's okay to have that feeling of space inside. It's okay to have a little temporary emptiness, a little spaciousness, as I like to call it. So don't be so quick to just run and try to refill the spaces. Slow down a moment. And then that's the other thing too. To ask yourself, what are you trying to fill here, really? If you keep going through the cycle of getting rid of stuff and then more stuff comes in and you still feel crammed, which, remember, you're a great manifester, so that part's not bad, but there's obviously some part of it you don't have a handle on if that's, a problem for you, if it becomes burdensome. if having too much stuff over and over again, even after you keep cleansing and releasing and taking stuff to the thrift stores and giving stuff away, if that's a pattern that you're in, then you do need to look at, what is this deeper meaning here? So there's the part about trusting. And then there's also your soul's desire to create and to grow. And this is really more what I talked about with my client who was, having this conversation with me, because she's in a place right now in her life where she is very successful in her work, but she's looking for something more, to give her deeper meaning. I mean, in other words, a kind of purpose. She has a deep spirituality and does very well with that. But there's a sense that she wants to serve more or differently. And there's not much further she can go in her work. I mean, she's achieved a lot in that particular position or field. So she has to find some way to grow, an avenue of growth. And here's the thing is your soul, no matter who you are, your human soul is wired for growth and expansion and creation. So that never goes away. It's just a part of who you are. And I think that really truly is a big piece of this kind of cycle with stuff and why people find themselves accumulating a lot of stuff, especially stuff you don't need or don't really want, and then you get rid of it, and then it just happens all over again. And what I said to her is, obviously you're a powerful manifester, and you're good at that, and this is evidenced by all this stuff you can manifest over and over again, but maybe, just maybe, your soul desires to manifest something else besides stuff. I want you to think about that for a beat. I want you to consider, is your spirit, your soul calling out to you to follow your destiny, a different branch of your destiny, your joy, a higher creative path? For my client who I was talking with this all about, she's very creative and she likes to paint and create things that can be used to decorate with. She's also quite interested in astrology, and she's pretty good at it. I mean, she's just beginning on that path, but she's pretty natural. So those are just a few things that she enjoys doing that are part of her joy, part of where her soul wants to grow. So I talked with her about, maybe sometimes instead of shopping or getting more stuff, you spend some time in those activities that your soul is calling you out to do, you concentrate on manifesting in a different way. And before I end this video today, I would share with you a little bit about myself. And that I have found, I will tell you, I don't enjoy shopping very much at this point in my life. And I haven't for many years. I do enjoy having my stuff that I want, whatever that stuff is. I enjoy plants. I have a lot of plants. I do like shopping for plants sometimes. I enjoy fine art. I enjoy clothing. Nice clothing that I like, colorful clothing mainly. There's certain things like everyone else that I enjoy, is what I'm saying. But I don't really find, almost never, that I want to go out shopping just to go out shopping. If I'm going out shopping, I'm going out shopping to get something in particular that I feel that I need. Or even if I'm going to go online, like to Amazon, there's something in particular that I'm looking for. So shopping doesn't control my life, and this helps me to keep the level of stuff that I have down. Now, I still get a lot of stuff because it's hard not to in this society, and I am a powerful manifester, just like you. And people give me stuff. That's a whole nother discussion. People will give you stuff. And actually, people will give you some really cool stuff when you're on your path, okay? So it's a little bit different that way, but we're just kind of talking about our own consumerism here and our own tendency to go out and get stuff and hunt. It's like our tendency to hunt and acquire stuff. And humans do have that in them. It's innate. So many years ago, though, what I want to share with you is that I used to really be a lot more into shopping when I was quite a bit younger, very young. And this has to do with how I was raised. And my mother, she was always into bargain hunting for clothing. She loved to do that, and she kind of passed it on to me, which is not a bad thing. It can be quite fun, but I used to spend a lot more time on that. And what happened for me, I didn't know this was going to happen. It just is something, it was really cool that it happened, actually. In my early 20s, I started to get more serious about my psychic mission. Yes. And also, I really got more into my writing at that time, because that was the main way that I was transmitting my psychic message. And I was writing these pamphlets that were very helpful for my clients and students about spirit guides and psychic development and yoga and all kinds of things. But it took a lot of time to write these and create these pamphlets, and I got more and more into it, and I got very excited about it, and I loved that I was creating these pamphlets, okay? So what happened, without me even trying to make it happen, is that I soon found I did not think about shopping much at all. I didn't even want to go out shopping because, here's the thing, I was so caught up in the creative ecstasy of working on my psychic mission and getting the message out, and especially the writings at the time. Then later it was CDs, and now it's videos, but whatever, whatever the format is, I was really caught up in that creative ecstasy, and I didn't want to take time to just go shop. That was time that I needed for my writing. I wanted to use it on my creative manifestation, on living my dream, my purpose, my passion. So think about that, for you. Think about, it's okay to go buy stuff if you truly need it, and it will bring you joy, and it has a purpose, a use in your life. But to just go shopping and, to focus on accumulation, that's real shallow, okay? That's not, if you're watching this video, I'm going to assume that you're at least being called to a spiritual path. And on the spiritual path, we can enjoy material possessions, but that is not how our lives are defined. And as a human being, your life will be fuller if you concentrate a little bit more, at least, on your own creative manifestations, your own path of joy and sharing, your own happiness. And happiness does not come through stuff. I mean, yes, there can be fun to have the things that you want. But again, the reason I'm making this video is because so many of us find that we have too many things, that the things are actually draining our life force energy, and we're not using them, and now we have to get rid of them, and what a job that is, right? So if you want some guidance as to how you can maybe, minimize that cycle. I don't know if it's going to get rid of it completely, but I think it might. You could break that cycle of having to purge so much, at least. Not drawing in material things, so many that you don't really need. And mainly what I'm talking about here is just not seeking, not using buying stuff as your main form of manifestation. I mean, you're a powerful manifester, yes, but you can manifest in different ways besides just drawing in a bunch of stuff you don't need. That's what I'm saying here, okay? So think about that, and don't just think about it, but tune in with your third eye, with your own intuition, that gut feeling, and your heart. Tune in to what might be calling out to you. I mean, because basically, if you're drowning in all this stuff, what I'm saying is you're not living your path. You're not living it fully, at least. There's some element of your personal path, your destiny, or what my ancestors would have called your orlog, or what some call your dharma, your purpose, why you're here. There's some part of that you're not responding to, you're not fulfilling. And your job is to figure out what that is and to get busy living that path, living that part of yourself. And that will help eliminate the compulsion to acquire too much stuff. Got it? Thanks for tuning in and watching. If you found this video helpful, please click the subscribe button below. And all the bright blessings to you and good vibes in your evening or day ahead.